Hi, it's Ross Cook with the Center of Balance and Effective Communication. What is the challenge of change? What's the big deal? And today we're going to just briefly go through a couple things. We're going to look at why the greats that are out there and all the billions of dollars that are made again and again and again in selling change and teaching you how to change. Why is it such a big thing? What is it completely about? What is the challenge of change? Well, the challenge of change is because you're up against infinity. You're up against infinite patterns. It's just amazing the energy and the encodes of how we became who we are. And then when you go to change that, if you use traditional ways, if you use just more of the same to attend to influence something that would be like trying to use a 3-foot stick to lever up the pyramids off the ground, it's just not going to work. It's just too immense. So what is with the challenge of change? Today, the piece we're going to look at it. Hi, Scott. Hi, Matt. What we're talking about today is, just the immensity of the number of encodes. My subconscious mind is just pouring stuff in, much larger than my conscious mind is. It's just pouring trillions and trillions of electrical events a second into me. Deepak Chopra said that between 7 and 11 trillion electrical events are being encoded by your subconscious mind every second. That's amazing. That's just an amazing number. We can't even think about that number very clearly. Matter of fact, think about it this way. 1 million seconds ago was just a brief period of time ago. How long ago? Oh, I don't know. 3 days, something like that. It's just not very long. 1 billion seconds ago. 1 billion seconds ago was just amazing. It's 34 years ago. And 1 trillion seconds ago, there were cave people on this planet. So when somebody throws a number like 7 to 11 trillion electrical events in a second, it's just like, we can't deal with it. So how does a mind and a body and a spirit, and we have a highly evolved mind. If you look at all the creatures on this planet, our split brain is amazing. Well, how do we attempt to deal with that size of an infinity? We deal with it by having a conscious mind. And the conscious mind is about as big as a bathtub to a lake or to a pond to the entire ocean. And its job is to keep you exactly where you are today. And if exactly where you are today is distressful, needing to change, well, guess what? Your conscious mind's job is to keep you in that same spot. So when we attempt to change, we go out and we elicit the help of our conscious mind. We go, okay, conscious mind, help me change. Well, its job's not to do that. So it will give you latitude. We have a lot of room in our conscious mind. You can lose weight for a while, then you'll yo-yo back up. That's because you're trying to change through a conscious mind patterning. Okay? And that's why people say, well, you can't change unless you go for 21 days or 28 days. What are they doing? They're attempting to get so many powerful emotional encodes in there on a given day, in a given instant, that maybe it will tip that entire lifelong amount of encodes into allowing you to eat healthily or something as opposed to something else. So you're up against an infinite number. If you're going to do that, you need to have a tool that deals with infinity very well. Your subconscious mind is the one that's encoding it. Guess what? We're going to use your subconscious mind to change it. All right? A second person, brilliant book. If you haven't read the Hidden Messages in Water, if you hadn't read that, it's a wonderful book. By Dr. Emoto, he says that he's not talking about encodes as such. He's talking about vibrations per second, as in like a piano playing or something. He says, as humans, we vibrate at, about 8.5 octaves above the sound of middle C on a piano. Well, by the time you run through the hertz and all that, he says that's 542 trillion vibrations a second. 542 trillion vibrations a second. Again, an infinite number. So if I'm going down the street and I'm concentrating on something, I'm thinking about something, my conscious mind is doing this much, and I'm encoding that way. But the rest of everything else around me, the people I'm connected to, my family members, people I enjoy, people I don't enjoy, my patterns are attempting to connect again and again and again and are telling me how I interact with the world based on what's been in my past. You know, when there's a big traumatic event, the one thing they know is there are 100 witnesses, you're going to get 100 different stories. And why is that? No one's doing anything duplicitous. No one's trying to be bad about it. What they're doing, though, is they have their own lens based on where they come from. If they're afraid of a certain ethnic society and they see something violent, the likelihood that they're going to name that perpetrator as a member of that ethnic society is very high. Where's that? It didn't change the event at all. The event is what it was, but our perception of it is based totally on the amount of encodes that are pounding us from behind, just always filling up. And we will say, man, we have choice. We make choice. No, your history makes your choices. Your history makes your choices. So just becoming aware of that possibility and infinity of things that are going on in your subconscious mind, one says, hey, look, if it's that possible in the way I've encoded anyway, well, maybe it's hopeless. No, it's not hopeless, but you need a tool that will change it in that infinity setting. You need an unconscious tool, some sort, and I mean some sort of really particular quality hypnotherapy thing, or the balancing work we do, because it asks the very engine that is filing away and holding those emotional encodes in your life to bring them forward so that we can then transform them and invest them in something different. Your subconscious mind will totally do that. It knows how to do it completely. But we don't have the tools or the methodology. Here at the Center of Balance and Effective Communication, we're very lucky. For 26 years, we've been developing those tools. But that's today, just understand what you're up against. Understand your choices aren't your own, and think of it this way. If all those encodes are over there and they're making you think or think in a certain way, think of it as a gigantic ATM of energy and history that you can go and using the right, you just can't get money out of an ATM doing any old thing. You have to know the directions of how to get through it and how to process it and what your PIN number is and how they work. Well, it's no different in your subconscious mind. You have to have a tool that actually works for you. And if you're willing to go do that, spend that time, learn that thing, be disciplined about it. The world is available. It's as available as all those encodes that sit around in your subconscious mind daily. Yeah. That's why the number one rule of the Center of Balance Effective Communication is that this is a possible world. This is the most possible world. It's more possible than you even know. The second rule is, and there's only two, the second rule is that if you don't learn to change those patterns in your life, those patterns are going to run you for the rest of your life. Okay? Hey, just be aware of the infinity of what's out there. Think about which would be the gigantic first programs that you might want to transform and begin to become aware of it, and then begin searching for ways to change those things that are out there. The reason it's such a billion-dollar industry and people go, oh, they'll sell you a program time and time again. They love selling your conscious mind because your conscious mind knows it's not going to really work that well. But the conscious mind will buy another thing because it wants things to think about. Your subconscious mind behaves incredibly differently. And you have the most possible ATM of possibility and energy. You can rescript well beyond your wildest dreams. You just have to get the cooperation of your subconscious mind. Hey, thanks. Thanks for checking in today. I'm Ross Cook of the Center of Balance and Effective Communication. I love you, and I love all that you love, and those that you love. We'll be meeting and visiting again soon. Jomo.